Welcome to the Impact Driven Entrepreneur, the podcast that helps you expand your reach and convert that reach into clients so you can lead your tribe with confidence and create change in the world while living the life you desire. And now your host, certified business coach and consultant, Mariana Ruiz.
Welcome back to the Impact Driven Entrepreneur. Today we have Karen Baines, and she's going to be talking. She is a conscious karmic creation coach. And we're going to be talking all about money, alignment, and energy. I am so excited for this episode and to really help you guys to take it to the next level in your business. As we all know, as impact-driven entrepreneurs, the more that we allow and really just allow money to flow to us, the more people we can help, the more we continue to grow and expand our business. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. So welcome. So happy to have you.
Oh, I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about how you got started on your entrepreneurial journey and kind of like what got you into teaching this.
Well, actually, I come from a financial background. So I was in bookkeeping and I worked in finance anyway. I had my own bookkeeping business and that was fairly, I was doing all right. It was fairly successful. And that was the first thing I'd ever done. And I didn't start that until I was well into my 30s because I had 5 kids. So I did the whole mum thing first. Then I got into bookkeeping purely because my husband started his own business and we weren't in a position to hire anyone. So I started learning that. Turned out I had a bit of a gift for that and pursued it as a career. Got a great mentor and a great teacher who helped me. Started my bookkeeping business, but alongside that, what was happening was I'd kind of been on a self-development journey probably since about the age of about 11. So since a very young age, I'd been sort of soul searching, trying to figure out essentially why I was so unhappy. I was I felt very unhappy and disconnected and alone as a child. I didn't have an unhappy childhood. It's just this inner sense that I had that there was just, it wasn't supposed to be this hard. And so I'd been on this self-development journey. And I learned a lot through reading a ton of books, just constantly absorbing content and reading stuff. And this whole journey ran alongside my bookkeeping business, and I discovered universal law, if you like. That was back in 2011. There's a lot of 11s that go on in my life. So back in 2011, that's when I stumbled across universal law. Predominantly at the time, it was the law of attraction. So that was like at the time, it was like, for me, it was like everything just fell into place. I felt like I found the thing that I'd been missing my whole life, that I'd been searching for. And I started to play around with that. And it wasn't long before I realized that what I was doing within my bookkeeping business was I was actually I was spending more time talking with my bookkeeping clients why they weren't making money in their businesses. So I was coaching them without even realizing what I was doing. And then finally, I kind of realized that it was time for me to merge the two. So I did that for a little while. And then as my experience grew and as my own journey sort of continued along the path it was going, I just realized that it was time for me to just focus on the coaching. So it kind of had it happened very organically for me. And I mean, I don't know about your tribe and your clients, but I find that with most of my clients, when they get into kind of the more sort of heart-centered businesses and they're the more heart-centered kind of coaches and healers, we usually are just very much guided into doing this stuff versus I went to university and trained, it just doesn't happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's exactly how my journey was. It was just like an evolution, like a little bit more pulling this way, pulling that way,
Yeah.
and then you
Yeah.
kind of find your groove.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
So tell me kind of like, what are the things that you saw and noticed with your bookkeeping clients that were kind of keeping them at that financial, kind of glass ceiling?
I think what was happening was people have always talked to me. People have always kind of felt that people say things to me like, "Oh, you're such a good listener." And I've just always had this thing where people just feel like they can open up and talk to me. And that's what people would do. And we'd be on like calls about the bookkeeping or like whatever about this, that, and all the rest of it. And we'd be having a conversation about what I needed to get their books done. And they'd be sort of like dropping in sort of more personal information and stuff like that. And I just was aware that the stuff that was going on kind of outside, not even necessarily in their businesses, sometimes outside of their businesses, was actually having an impact on their money flow. And I could see in the numbers, I could see in the patterns of the finances in a very physical, grounded way, that their energy around a certain time was creating income spikes or income
Dips. Yeah.
And this became like, the more I played with this and the more I realized that this was like, along with the work that I was doing sort of with universal law, I was just able to then have conversations with them and just gently guide them and tell them what I was noticing.
Mm-hmm.
And whether they were open to that or not, it didn't really matter. It was neither here nor there. But for me, that was a journey of self-knowledge that got me into a situation where, well, actually, this isn't where I'm supposed to be now. I need to, this is the route I need to go down. And so I did. I closed the bookkeeping business and focused just on the coaching. And it went from there.
Mm-hmm.
I also was obviously really aware as well in my own business and how my own energy affected my own income and my own business. I could, like, when you track your money like I do, because it's fun, I enjoy tracking money. A lot of people don't. A lot of people, it's one of the first things I look at with clients. When my clients come to me and they're sort of stuck, one of the first things I say to them is, are you looking at your bank accounts? Do you know what's going on? Because if you're ignoring your money, energetically, you're saying you don't want it around. Mm-hmm. And if you're saying you don't want it around, the universe can only say yes to whatever you choose. So if you say, well, I don't want this around, I'm ignoring it, there'll be no money around for you. So that's the very first place. But as being in finance that really enjoys that, I've always been like, my money's always been very trackable, and I Excel spreadsheets, and I love all that stuff.
I love spreadsheets too.
I know. I could see how my own business was affected by my energy, and so I used my own business as a real sort of as a barometer, really.
Mm-hmm. So let's say someone is at that place of ignoring money. What can they do? Because I'm sure there's a few.
They can stop it. Honestly, that is the first thing. They've got to stop it. So here's what's happening. Money resonates to two energies before you spend it. When you spend it, it realigns itself. But it resonates already to two energies, because money is energy, right? Mm-hmm. But money is creational energy. manifested at the physical level. Because we create, because we're creators, that's what we're designed to do, to come here and create our own lives, whatever that looks like. And we do that through the process of choice and consequence, which is what I call conscious karmic creation. So when you make a choice, the energy underneath that choice, that actual doing, is then reflected back at you with the consequence, whatever you manifest as a direct consequence of that choice. Because what you're saying, if you're choosing an energy, if you're choosing something, you're saying, I want this. Why would you choose something that you didn't want? And like I said, the universe, energy, soul, higher power, whatever you want to call it, universal law can only respond to yes. It can only say yes to whatever you say you want. So when you choose something, the universe will deliver more of that to you. And when you're ignoring money, you're saying you don't want it around, because we ignore what we don't want to see. So obviously energetically that will be reflected back in, well, she doesn't want to look at her money, she doesn't want to deal with it, there won't be any. It's not a punishment, it just is. It's the universe saying, yeah, okay, here you go. And that's how that works. And so when the first things you can do is to make sure that you're not letting your money boss you around. You cannot possibly increase your income level when money is the boss of you. You have to take back your power. Like I say, it resonates first and foremost to the two energies of responsibility and power. With responsibility comes great power. But if you're irresponsible, along comes powerlessness, because one of the other universal laws that govern us is the law of polarity, which states everything has its opposite. So you've got always got like the two contrasting energies in any given experience, because we're here for a full human experience. But money resonates to responsibility first. And the responsibility part of that equation is the responsibility that you have to get your body as safely as possible through this lifetime that you've chose to be in, from A to B, because your body is the vehicle for your soul. A to B is birth to death. You are responsible to take care of this physical body that transports your soul through this life. And you do that by making sure you've got a roof over your head, by making sure you eat food, because it's fuel for your physical body, heat, light, water, all of the things that make your current lifestyle possible, so that you feel good in this body. That's the responsibility part of money. The other part is the power, and the power comes from the power that we have to create our own lives through the process of choice and consequence. And because money is creational energy manifest, because when you've got money, you've got choice. If we create through choice and consequence, when you've got more money, you've got more choices. And it's also how we assign value to things. So when we buy something, that is a choice. And the energy underneath that choice is the power that you have to create the consequence once you've made the choice. When you do that, so once you've taken care of your responsibilities, once you are left with your creationary income, as I call it, bookkeepers and accountants call it discretionary, I call it creationary now. But when you've got that money left, whatever you've got left at the end of the month, once you've taken care of your responsibilities, that's your power. So you want to make sure you are spending that money on stuff that you love. So if, like, I talk to my clients a lot about the vibrational essence, if you like, the target energy of what they want to create. If you think of your intention, when you set an intention to create something, when you think of that being already done, that's your consequence. So then you have to make, that's a consequence, you need to make choices that align to that consequence, because that energy will be reflected back at you. because the law of attraction works from a vibrational standpoint. So if you're spending your money on energies like, I call them the not so fabulous four. So we've got guilt, resentment, sacrifice, and the big one is obligation. Any kind of obligation that you're choosing in your business, monetarily or otherwise, is absolutely toxic. It's absolutely toxic to a fabulous life, let alone a 7-figure business. So you need to make sure that you're being responsible about your money, you're looking at it, you're dealing with it. If anyone owes you money, you're having those tough conversations and getting that money paid to you. If you owe anyone money, you're dealing with that in a way, even if things are a bit tight, you're having tough conversations and creating new agreements with people that you owe money to. Whatever that looks like, it's about being responsible, taking responsibility and getting back in charge. And then once you do that, making sure that any money that you've got left, and hopefully there'll be plenty of it, because when you start focusing on what you create and energetically aligning your choices to that, you will manifest your intention. That's the point. You've got to make sure that you do a 360-degree assessment of your entire life, and you get rid of any obligation energy you're doing, any guilt energy, any resentment energy, and any sacrifice energy. And this isn't mindset stuff I'm talking about. This isn't about going to a happy place and journaling and doing meditations and getting all in a high vibe and then going around and doing stuff that you've always done. This is about actually stopping doing the things that have this energy underneath them, because when you do anything that has that energy underneath it, you're choosing that energy. You can't change that by happy thought thinking. You have to stop. And
okay, that is freaking gold, because I can't stand happy thought thinking. I'm always like, no.
Happy thought thinking keeps a lot of people very stuck.
Yes. And it's like,
happy thought thinking is a wonderful thing, but you have to, in order to change your physical world, your 3rd dimensional reality, the only thing that will change your physical 3rd dimensional reality is your physical body. You have to do. You have to move your physical body. Money is a tangible physical thing. It might be energy. It represents choice. It represents value. And we're all energy, but we've chosen a 3rd dimensional experience. We're human beings. Money is a physical thing, and we use it to buy material physical things or experiences that we can put our physical bodies into. If you want to create a life that looks different to what it does now and looks like a different income level, you have to do something with your physical body. And happy thought thinking is not going to give you a 7-figure business if you go about and you carry on doing all the obligation, the guilt and the resentment and the sacrifice. Not to mention all the other sort of more lower vibrational energies. There are a lot of them, but those are the 4 key ones. Absolutely, yeah. Those are the 4.
Yeah, I liken it to like wrapping turd, like turd.
Yeah, I call it sugarcoating shit.
Yes. I think of glitter on shit, but it is the same thing, right? It's like, what is the underlying energy? And if that's shit, it's not going to happen, right?
Well, actually, what's going to happen is more
shit. Yes.
That's what's going to happen.
Yes.
So yeah, it can be an issue for people, because I think there are definitely holes in people's knowledge and understanding of what the law of attraction actually is and what it does. Mm-hmm. You have to, at the bottom line of it is, if you think of your life right now as it is now, in whatever area, whether it's your health, your business, your relationships, everything you've got going on today, right now, is actually already in the past, because it's a consequence of the choices you've already made. And lovelies, if you're not creating the income level that you want to create, making the same choices are misaligned, because otherwise your desire wouldn't be a desire, it'd already be a reality. So there are misaligned choices to the income level that you want to create. Otherwise, you'd already have the income level that you want to create. So you have to go and check. You have to go and check, where is the misalignment? You have to drop all those misalignments, change things, stop doing things, reset boundaries. Massive. Resetting boundaries. I get clients all the time who are seemingly doing all the right things in their businesses. They're showing up, they're doing their Facebook lives, they're doing their accounting work properly, they're creating their programs, they're serving their clients, all of the things, they're doing all of the things, but they cannot get through to the next level. It's worked to a certain point, now they cannot get through to the next level. And the reason is usually because they've got boundary issues in other life areas. Mm-hmm. And they don't actually want to, like, resetting boundaries. And we're called there's a vibrational shift available for all of us 3 to 4 times a year. So like every 3 to 5 months, our soul will call us to the next level. And every time we do that, we're going to be called on to shift our boundaries again, because we're no longer the person we were 3 to 5 months ago. There's going to have to be a whole lot of realignment, and people would rather not have those tough conversations, even if it's something as simple as expecting the other half to, I don't know, load the dishwasher or unload the dishwasher, so that you don't get off a client call at 8 p.m. and end up doing it yourself. These things build up and build up. And actually, there are girls that are doing all the right things in their businesses, and they're not creating the levels that they want. And you find out that they've got boundary issues. They're not speaking up. They're not valuing themselves outside of their businesses, because they want a quiet life, or because they don't, or they're too busy, or for whatever reason, they're choosing a lesser experience. They're not valuing themselves outside of their businesses, even if they're valuing themselves in their businesses. But energy doesn't pigeonhole. Mm-hmm. It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't say, oh, well, she's doing all the right things with her money and her business, she's valuing herself there, so we'll bring her clients. No, it's not how it works. If you're doing that, but you're choosing to devalue yourself in other life areas, it cancels it out. So all the work that you might be doing that's aligned will just get cancelled out by the misaligned choices you're making. You have to make congruent, aligned choices throughout your entire life experience. And you have to do it again and again and again and again. And that's why entrepreneurship is so rewarding. It's why it's a spiritual journey, whether people believe that or not. And it's why there's only about 3% of the entire population that are prepared to do what we do. Mm-hmm. Because it is a journey. It is a journey of self-knowledge and value, and often it's tough.
Yes. I love this. I love everything that you're saying. I don't even know how to follow that up. I'm like, whoa. So you said there, and I want to really just like drive this point home. You said if you're having the big 4 feelings, you have to change them. And we can't just happy thought and like,
No, you can't pretend.
Yes, you can't pretend, right?
Yeah.
So how, right? Like, or what can people do? Is it having the tough conversations, renegotiating, as well as like getting our own energy aligned and like reframing? Yeah. Okay.
It's not even about like necessarily reframing. It's stopping doing what you don't really want to do and doing something that lights you up. That's the key. But it does take time, and it's simple. It's so simple. People don't realize how, like, that. I have these conversations over and over again. You wouldn't believe the amount of people that say to me, oh my God, it's so obvious. I had no idea. It's so obvious when they kind of get the aha moment. It's not easy. It's not easy, because if it was easy, we'd be doing it already, right? So as an example, like obligation, that's the big one. Obligation is huge. And I'll give you an example. I use an example that one of my clients allows me to use. I asked her permission because it is the perfect example of what this can look like. So I'm working with this client, not been working with her long, highly successful. Her business has gone like boom in a really short period of time. And we're looking at what she's going on. We're on this coaching call, and she's got all these things showing up that she doesn't want to do. And I'm like, okay, well, what's the energy underneath them? When you feel into them, what does it feel like? Because energy is subjective. So it doesn't necessarily mean what it would feel like for me feels like that for her. So she's like, well, you know, I've got to do it. I have to do it. She said, which is mad, because I don't do things that I don't want to do. So where's all this stuff coming from that I suddenly feel like I've got to do? And when we explored further, it turned out that literally a couple of months, 3 months before she started to work with me, her sister lives in Australia. She lives in the UK, in London. Her sister lives in Australia, had a baby. Her best friend also lives in Australia. And her sister wanted her to go over, meet the baby, do the aunt thing, do the whole christening bit or whatever it is. And my client's like, yeah, sure. And so she's like putting her money towards this big trip, and she doesn't want to go. She doesn't want to go. She doesn't know how to say it. She doesn't know how to say it out loud. She doesn't want to hurt anybody. She thinks she's doing the right thing. She wants to meet the baby. There's nothing, but she doesn't want to go. She's chosen obligation. Not only has she chosen obligation, she's paying for it. She's taking this money and she's putting it towards the trip and the things they're going to be doing on the trip and where she's going to be staying on the trip and the flight and all of that. And all this money is paying for obligation. And then all this obligation is popping up all around her. Now, what she had to do, what we decided, because she didn't feel that she, this late on, that she could cancel this trip. This trip had been booked for a long time. She didn't feel it was too much for her to say, you know what, I'm not coming. She couldn't make a new choice. But what she did was, we got her to detox her energy. So all the things that had shown up that she had agreed to, that she didn't really want to do, she just stopped. Like, I think somebody had asked her if she would joint venture in something or collaborate in something with them, another entrepreneur. And she was like, oh yeah, okay, Deb, but she didn't really want to do it. So no, not doing it. When you actually understand how powerful you are, you can't unlearn this stuff. You can't get off that merry-go-round. When you realize that every single choice you make, if it doesn't make you feel good, you're choosing that and you are creating more of it. So she had to detox her energy, and I kind of warned her that no matter what she did, she probably wasn't gonna really get what she wanted out of that trip, because the bottom line of it was she didn't really want to go. And sure enough, she went on the trip, and it pretty much sucked. She had a lot of stuff going on in her business at home that she couldn't really deal with because she was there. She burnt out. You know, it wasn't fun for her. But she'll never do it again. She never has the obligation now, because she knows how powerful she is now. And I mean, that happens, like, people go for, like, I don't know, they meet up with family members once a month or even once a week because it's what the family have always done. It's traditional, but they don't want to go. They don't want to upset anybody. And chances are it is going to upset people. People don't like it when you change the rules. They didn't ask you to change the rules. They don't like it. So they do their little ego dance, and you've just got to be strong enough to hold them in the energy of, if it's an aligned choice for me, it's an aligned choice for everybody. The energy that I am choosing will not only be reflected back at me, it will be reflected back at everybody else that my choice affects. It might take longer for them because they didn't choose it. But you have to stand in that. You have to own that. And that's not easy. It's very simple. You know, you can look around your life, and I bet you could, like, whoever's listening to this call today, even you yourself, and go away and probably make a list of 10 things out the gate that you're like, whoa, I probably should change that because that's not aligned to what I want to create. So, you know, you're not going to create what you want if what you're choosing doesn't align to what you want to create. It is that simple. So then you've got to go and do these 10 things, and it's gonna suck. Yeah.
It's gonna suck.
You might need to take baby steps with some of it. What I do is I say to my clients, okay, feel into the energy of what you want to create. So find your intention, take yourself down 3 months of your timeline. Where do you want to be in 3 months? What do you want the business to look like? How many, what's the income, consistent income that you want within 3 months? Feel into what that feels like. So center yourself, do a little bit of woo. Just feel, all you're doing is feeling into the energy underneath what you want to create. What does that life look like? Why is it different to where you are now? Just really feel into it. Give that energy a name. So one of the most common sort of vibrational essences, if you like, of the people that I work with is freedom. When they feel into, 20K consistent income, monthly income, it feels like freedom. Sometimes it's, another one is empowerment. There's expansion. Energy subjective. So it's whatever you feel. That's your 10. Call that that energy is your 10. That's what you want to create. So therefore you've got to go and make choices that feel like that, because that's your consequence. So if you think of that energy on a scale of 1 to 10, and that's your 10, go through your life, go down your to-do list in your business, and anything that you're doing that feels at 5 or less, stop. You've got to stop it. You've got to either let it go and stop it completely. You've got to delegate it to somebody else. You've got to streamline it, automate it, or you've got to find a way that you can do it in a new way, so that it does align to what you want to create. You've got to do it in a new way, not go away and think about and feel what it would feel like to be free and then carry on doing what you've always done, because your choices, your current choices, are creating your current life, and you want more. So you've got to change what you're doing. Happy thought thinking does not cut it.
Oh my God. Everyone, this is like legit. This is like $1 million conversation. Love it. So where can people find more about you? tell us all of the details because I want everyone to go and listen to you all day long.
Okay, so you can find me on Facebook. I'm really easy to find on Facebook. My website is currently under reconstruction because I am not the person that I was when that website was created. So that's under full refurbishment. But you can find me on my business Facebook page. I think it's like Soul Whispers 1. Mm-hmm. Karen Baines, Conscious Karmic Creation Coach is who you need to search. I've also got a personal page. You can private message me there if you want to, I don't know if that, I'm not sure how you're going to be putting this out there, but you can definitely put those links there.
Yeah, definitely.
Always make it available for anybody that wants to, that hears me. Obviously come over. I do my A to Z of Conscious Karmic Creation every week. We're currently on the letter Q. Mm-hmm. So there's quite a big back catalogue there already. I do money momentum moments, and I do money momentum now calls twice, like live streams twice a week. So I'm live 3 times a week. I'm also going to be starting a Q&A once a month very soon for about 30 minutes. If I don't want to be knobby no mate, so if I'm trying to find out interest in that. I don't have a Facebook group. I closed it down so I could focus more on coming out and meeting lovely people.
Podcasts, yeah,
exactly. But what I do as well for anybody, as long as make sure that they mention your name. So I know where they're coming from, but I do have a limited amount of 20-minute slots where I can, I call them money momentum assessments. So basically someone chats to me for 10 minutes about what they've got going on with their money, and I give them a 10-minute feedback on where the misaligned choices probably are, on what they can do right now to change it. And trust me, it is simple, it's not easy, but trust me, the changes happen very quickly. You will start to see the results of making these uncomfortable new choices, and they will be uncomfortable, but you will see the evidence showing up very quickly, and it will land in your bank account.
Oh my gosh, love it. Love it. Thank you so much. And I will invite you to my Facebook group because we'll be doing.
I would love that.
Yeah, it's the Coaching for Impact group. So you can come and hang out, and the day that we publish, it'll be there. It'll be on my page and Libsyn, all that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if at any point you ever, your girls wanted to do a Q&A with me, I'm happy to show up in there. I love that kind of collaboration and that feedback, and really sort of helping people really, because this stuff it's so very grounded, but it is often the missing piece of the puzzle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just the missing bit. And when you know what it is, that's when you can change it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for all of your amazing speech and everything that we discussed. And we'll be connecting with everybody soon. So thank you.
Thank you, my love. Thank you for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure to meet you.
Head on over to impactdrivenentrepreneur.com, where you can find an arsenal of videos, blog posts, and previous podcast episodes to help you increase your profit and impact. Again, impactdrivenentrepreneur.com, and click on blog. Enjoy.